Imagine going from sleeping in your car to walking into a bank, getting approved instantly, and watching your credit score flash 800 points on the screen. Well, that's not fiction, that's my story. See, in 2008, I was flat broke. I was homeless, no savings, no plan, and a credit score buried deep in the 400s. But let's be honest, I wasn't just unlucky, I was reckless. See, when I was making six figures as a sales director in the mortgage world, well, I spent money like it would never run out. I maxed out credit cards without thinking, I made minimum payments whenever I felt like it, and I financed flashy things to impress people who never really mattered. I never tracked my spending. I never cared about interest rates. And when people warn me about credit scores, well, I just laugh it off because, hey, I was making good money until the financial crash hit. And suddenly, all that fake financial security, well, it crumbled. The calls from the debt collectors came quickly. My cards were frozen. My rent was overdue. And I realized I hadn't just lost my income, I'd destroyed my entire reputation with every lender in the country. Fast forward to today. Well, thankfully, I've got excellent credit. I run a successful credit repair company, and I've literally helped thousands of people fix what they thought was broken forever. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact mindset, the tools, and the tactics that took me from rock bottom to an 800 credit score, and how you can use that same roadmap to fix your credit and change your life. So, we're talking credit builder hacks, debt elimination methods, insider scoring tips, and the painful moments that shaped my journey. So stay with me because I promise this story will inspire you and, more importantly, give you the real tools that you can use today. So, again, let's rewind to 2008. I'd just gone from making six figures as a sales director in the mortgage industry to losing everything. I was reckless with my spending, I didn't understand credit, and so when the financial crash hit, I hit rock bottom with it. Credit cards were maxed out, late payments were everywhere, debt collectors were calling me daily, and eventually I couldn't even qualify for an apartment because my credit score was in the 400s. So, of course, I ended up homeless, sleeping in my car. Now, that's when it hit me. I had been taught how to make money, but never how to manage money. So I made a promise to myself that that day that I was going to learn everything about how credit works and fix my life one score point at a time. Now understand that the first step wasn't fixing my credit, it was actually understanding my credit. See, I didn't need more money, I needed a new mindset. So I began obsessively studying the credit system, not the surface level stuff. I'm talking deep dives. So things like FICO white papers, credit bureau manuals, and insider banking forums. And I learned that credit scores weren't just random numbers, they were formulas. And in case you don't know, this is exactly how it works. So your payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. Your credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. The length of your credit history makes up 15%, and the different mixes of credit that you have make up 10%, and new inquiries, the final 10%. Now, every piece had weight. Each decision I made either built or broke trust with lenders, and I realized the biggest mistake that people make isn't bad credit, it's not knowing how the game is played. So I started tracking every account, every due date, every balance. And I built a spreadsheet and updated it daily like it was my job because, in a way, it was. I also learned about the myths that kept me broke. So let me share some of them with you. Myth number one: paying off debt instantly boosts your score. That's not right. It depends on the timing. Myth number two: closing old cards is good. Nope, wrong again. It can actually hurt you. And myth number 3, well, you can't negotiate with collectors. And that's wrong too, because you absolutely can and you should. Now, I spent weeks doing nothing but educating myself, and something amazing happened. The more I understood, the more control that I felt. I wasn't at the mercy of the system anymore. I was starting to master it. Now, I wasn't rich, I didn't have connections, but I had clarity. And clarity is exactly where the comeback begins. So, my credit warriors, just before we take an even deeper dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that helps your credit situation. And I promise it will help and you'll appreciate it. So buckle up and let's go deeper. So once I got into the 500s, I knew I was no longer drowning, but I still couldn't breathe easy. See, getting from the 500s to the 600s meant action, not just theory. So the first thing I did was I pulled all 3 of my credit reports, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, from annualcreditreport.com. I printed them out, I grabbed a red pen, and I circled every negative item. Then I wrote dispute letters, yes, real physical letters, to challenge outdated, incorrect, or unverifiable accounts. Now, I didn't use templates. I made it very personal, very factual, and I was persistent. Next, I tackled collections. I called each one at a time. Now, I know most people are afraid to do this, but I was respectful, direct, and strategic. I said, if I pay you today, will you agree in writing to delete the account from my report? And by the way, that's called a pay for delete agreement. Now, in all honesty, some said no, but enough of them said yes. And every single deletion gave my score room to rise. Then next up came the secured credit card. Excuse me. I scraped together $300 for a deposit. I got approved and I treated that card like gold. I used it for 1 gas fill up a month, nothing more. Then I paid it off before the statement closed. So it reported as a 0 balance, which meant my utilization was under 5%. My payment history, well, that was flawless. And the bureau data, clean and improving. From there, I added a credit builder loan from a local credit union. That was a small loan, easy payments, but a big score impact. And finally, I asked a trusted family member to add me as an authorized user on their oldest card. No usage, just their history reflecting on my file. And boom, within 90 days, my score crossed the 600 mark. And let me tell you, seeing 6 at the front of that number, well, it felt like freedom. But once I crossed into the 700 club, then everything changed. Suddenly I could get approved for real credit cards. I qualified for better auto financing. Landlords stopped asking me for co-signers, but more importantly, I had my confidence back again. And that confidence spilled into every area of my life. I wasn't afraid to answer the phone. I wasn't dodging bills or hiding from my bank app. I finally had momentum and it felt unshakable. And that's when I realized this wasn't just about numbers. It was about control, power, and dignity. So I started helping friends. Then I helped family, then clients. And that is when Compassionate Credit Repair was born. Now, I didn't just want to fix credit. I wanted to fix the shame and confusion around it because basically I knew the pain firsthand. And people needed someone who'd been there, someone who could say, I know what it's like and I know how to get you out of it. Now, getting to 800 took time, but it was worth every ounce of effort. And here's what finally pushed me over the edge. First of all, only using 1 to 3% of my available credit. Number 2, never missing a single payment for 5 years or more. Number 3, keeping all cards open to preserve the account age. And number 4, mixing revolving and installment credit. Now also, I check my reports monthly for errors. And here's something people overlook. Discipline matters far more than income. See, I know people making six figures with credit scores in the 500s and people working hourly jobs with scores over 750. The difference? Commitment to the process. You don't need to be rich to hit 800. You just need a clean file, smart usage, and time. So here's the exact blueprint I used to go from homeless to an 800 credit score. Learn the system. Knowledge is power. Start small. Secured cards and builder loans. Authorize user fixes. What's broken? Get disputes, collections, and errors. Challenge them. Pay on time. Keep balances low. Track everything. Credit is math, it's not magic. And maybe the most important piece, and this is important because I learned this, forgive yourself. You know what? You made mistakes. So did I. In fact, I've probably made a lot more than you, but they're just starter points, not your destiny. So if you're in a tough spot right now, I want to hear this. You are not broken. Your score isn't permanent, and your past does not define your future. Rebuilding credit is possible, and it starts with one small win today. So drop a comment below and let me know where you're at on your credit journey. And subscribe for daily videos packed with tips, hacks, and real talk from someone who's lived it. You've got this, my friend, and I'll be right here to help you every step of the way. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.